welcome to BackStage Pass the Show. I'm your host, Miss Cole, and I hope you're really excited because on today's episode, we're featuring Interscope recording artist Alja Jackson, aka Jessie J. You'll see an exclusive interview done by yours truly, Alja in the studio recording, and so much more. So sit back because your BackStage Pass has officially been ready.
Your beats.
My girl, she pretty like a Barbie. She like a party. She get to acting naughty. She riding like a Harley. She riding like a
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're tuning in to BackStage Pass the Show. I'm your girl, Miss Cole, and I am here with Alja Jackson.
What's up?
We are actually at a hot studio session right now with Alja. Alja, you have been doing a lot lately.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's this vibe I'm feeling like when you come into the studio with her, I'm like feeling this vibe. It's like funky, it's just a music thing going. I like your wall.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about that wall.
Basically, it's the Wall of Fame. You know, everybody that comes in here for a session has to leave their mark. You know, I think it's great for everybody to leave their mark and show they're represented and came through and showed love. So that's what that's about. And beam me up, Scotty, when you come in here. Scotty helps you go to your next level of creativity. So that's what that's about.
Okay. Now your mixtape Contraband is currently out right now, correct?
Yes.
And you're currently working on another mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to give me a little bit of insight about that? What's the difference between Contraband and this?
Well, Contraband was basically, of course, it derived from the name contraband. Something that you're not supposed to have, that's illegal or whatever. But and then the brand thing was like, I'm giving you some brand new shit with some guerrilla tactics. So we just hit the streets like that. So that's why I called it Contraband. But the new mixtape, the greatness, basically, I feel like this is the mixtape that is gonna solidify me to say, okay, yeah, she did the fun stuff, the colorful fun stuff earlier, but now, like, okay, she's a real artist, she's a real lyricist, and that's what I want people to get from this next one. I put my emotions and everything that I have in me right now into this mixtape, so I'm very proud of it.
Proud of you too. You're doing a lot.
Thank you.
Now you actually didn't start off as being a singer or a rapper. You started off writing, correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I've been singing as well. I'm singing before I was writing. But what happened was I used to live in New York, and I know people know who Jimmy Henchman is. He was going to sign me to his management company. He was like, if I did that, he wanted to put me with writers, and I was like, I know that I could write my own stuff, but I knew in my heart that I wasn't where I wanted to be. So it just took working on my craft and finding myself. If you're a real artist, it takes a minute to find yourself. Like, that's why a lot of true artists, it takes so much longer for them to get on, because a lot of these artists are made or put together. Something behind the machine. They give you the songs to sing, they give you an image, and then when somebody changes up in the midst, then you're like, oh well, that's not them. It's because it never was them to begin with, and now they're finally finding themselves. So when I came to Atlanta, people didn't really get me as an artist. They knew that I had a look and a sound, I could sing, but they didn't see me singing the records that I was doing. So it took me a minute to get into writing, but once I did that for other people writing pop and all kind of other stuff, I found Jessie J, and that was who I am. It allowed me to open up musically, and I took off on special, man.
Now you said something earlier. You said they didn't really know how to brand you, whatever. Because now your style is different. I love it. You're colorful. It's flashy. It's all the colors. But you kind of remind me of, I would say, if I was throwing all the ingredients to make you up, I would say Cyndi Lauper, because her colors.
That's my auntie.
Madonna, back in the day, she first came out. She had the beads and she had a little tutu, all that.
Yes.
I could put all that together and I could make you.
Yes. Like my musical lineage, I say, Prince is my father. Missy Elliott is my mother. Cyndi Lauper is my auntie. Tina Turner is my grandma. Andre 3000, my brother. T-Pain is my cousin. You know, like that's my musical lineage. Michael Jackson, that's my godfather. You know, so that's my musical lineage, and I just took from all those folks and developed my own sound. You know, it's important to develop your own thing. It's one thing to admire somebody, but there's already one of whoever you admire, so let them be them and come up with something original and creative that people can love. You know, so it's okay for somebody to say, oh, you remind me, or you sound like this, because it's popular. It's something that means that you have a sound that is recognizable. You remind me of somebody, but don't just straight up just jack you know, somebody's sound. You know, but people can really appreciate that, you know, originality. So
what category would you say Alja would be in? Because you're a little bit of rock, you pop, you're R&B, you're actually all of it. What would you say the category is?
Well, I actually made up my own category. I call it ghetto pop. That's my lane. You know, I'm from the hood. You know, I listen to R&B music. I like hip hop. You know, but there's also a pop side of me that's more colorful and a more popular vein to where I can do the crossover records. You know, so you know that's what I label myself. And a lot of times, like when I first start shopping myself, they're like, well, what is your sound? Or, you know, what do you do or whatever? And I didn't particularly have a name for it then, and it wasn't as molded or nurtured at the time, you know. So, but yeah, ghetto pop.
Ghetto pop.
Yes, ma'am.
That's different. I like that. That does set you aside from everybody else. Now, at what point in your life did you realize this is what you wanted to do? Like, this is what I'm going to do.
I knew that I wanted to be. I knew that I was going to be successful in music, like at 5 years old. And I mean, no lie, like this is what I've always wanted to do. I remember being in 5th grade, and we had a talent show, and they were putting the talent show on, doing all the planning. And girl, I had my little Michael Jackson beaded records, because my mom had a record player. Most kids don't listen to record players, you know what I'm saying? But I had the record, the small. What size is that? It's like the smaller ones. You know, you have the big ones and the small ones.
Oh God.
Girl, I dressed up as Michael Jackson. I was practicing my hardest, and they canceled the talent show. It broke my heart. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take it to the classroom. So I asked my teacher, could I perform, you know, my talent, because the talent show was canceled. And I remember doing Beat It in front of all my class. And the next class next door, they rushed next door to look through the, you know, look through the window and everything. And I'm just like, I know this is what I want to do. Like, I want to do music. I have something, I have a calling, you know. And I mean, anytime I perform or whatever, I always let people know that it's not me. It's God. Like, whatever message that He wants me to give to people, regardless of, you know, what I'm singing or what I'm doing, like, God gave me this mission. He gave me this talent that you know, He gave me the words to put together to the song, the creativity to do everything I do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm out here to promote positivity, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, creativity. So, yeah.